Yeah. So here I want to show you guys a very important play, man. Miles Sanders' first rushing touchdown, man. A lot of things happen on this particular rush that just shows a lot of ability and a lot of potential that Miles Sanders has. Myself, I've been a little critical of him, man, and I'm very happy for him that on his first rushing touchdown, he absolutely made it sparkle. So let's get into this. I'll be freezing this and I'll be telestrating on the video quite a bit, but I just want to show you guys what I see. A lot of things happen on this play besides the running ability of Miles Sanders. So right here, the play starts to develop. Miles Sanders breaks out. Now, what you see right here is probably one of the best blocks of the season so far. You see right here, Jordan Howard gets right in there. A running back being your running back being your other running back's lead blocker. You know what I mean? It's just amazing, man. Look at all the area that Miles Sanders has to work with. You also have a wide receiver out here that's going to be able to do some damage out there on the top. But what I really want to highlight right here is, let's go a little further. Right here, Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz with the ability to block a guy and get a guy. It looks like blocking in the back, but watch how Zach Ertz releases. And he also, once he releases at a good time. So Miles Sanders is right here taking advantage of the block by Jordan Howard. Zach Ertz is right here getting a block that could have been called for a block in the back. This could have been called for a block in the back. But at the point of release, he knows that Miles Sanders is going to be able to outrun this guy regardless. Gone. Now, if you can go back a little bit, you see where Zach Ertz released. Right there, Zach Ertz engages. He's able to engage right there. Now follow that. Release. Miles is gone, off to the races, showing bursts, showing quicks, showing the ability to outrun would-be tacklers and guys trying to pursue him, man. So there you have it, man. I believe Miles Sanders showed us a lot in this clip. I believe Miles Sanders is going to prove to be worth his weight in gold, man. Yeah. Lord Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. So how we makes a move. The Philadelphia Eagles sent a 5th round pick over to the Cleveland Browns, and we acquired Genard Avery. Now, a lot of people don't know who this guy is, me, myself included. I'm not opposed to, just shooting a man down before we see what he got. I looked him up a little bit when I heard the news, and he's a pressure guy. He's fast for his position. He can play a little linebacker, a little defensive, and he's fast. He can pressure the quarterback. So this move lets me know that the Philadelphia Eagles are high on saying this: if we get more pressure, we don't have to worry about the cornerback position. I disagree. Being as though we're not getting pressure, the cornerbacks are getting exposed. So I think that, are they going to use this guy as a linebacker? I don't know how we're going to use this guy. A lot of people are saying it's a scheme change for him because the Cleveland Browns primarily use 2 linebackers, and they're really deep at defensive end. So dude didn't really fit in right there. But we can use him as an additional linebacker. We can put him in blitz situations. You know what I mean? I think this is a move to just make up the loss of Zach Brown, in my opinion. I don't think we should have let Zach Brown go quite so soon. I think we should have let him finish out the season. He was angry. He was aggressive. He was fast. I think what you really did was just replace Zach Brown with a Zach Brown-like player. You know what I mean? Dude is going to be good in run protection. He is one of those guys. Don't you know when we send the house after a guy? We send the house after a guy and we still don't get any pressure. Zach Brown was one of the few guys that was still able to leak through the middle, through interior pressure, and force them out to flush to the outside while our defensive ends can later on corral them. We're bringing a house and still not getting no pressure. It's almost pathetic at times. So I think this guy, he's not strong in coverage, like I said, just like Zach Brown wasn't. But at the same time, I think he holds some purpose, depending on where we're going to play him at. Now, we want to talk about targets. Let's talk about a few targets that we should be really looking at. We hear a lot about Darius Slay today, that the Lions want a king's ransom for Darius Slay. I mean, if they asking for a 1st and a 3rd or 1st and a 5th, I think you give that up for Darius Slay. Here's why. Darius Slay could be a game-changing cornerback that can grow with our defense and our defensive coordinator. Darius Slay, if you bring in a cornerback of Darius Slay's caliber right now, what that does is it sends Sidney Jones to the bench and it demotes somebody else down to the nickel. I mean, in an ideal situation, I'm coming out with Darius Slay on one side, Jalen Mills on the other side, and Ronald Darby in the nickel. Ronald Darby is fast enough to run like a Cole Beasley, who is just running an out route on Sidney Jones and burning Sidney Jones. I think Ronald Darby got the speed to be on the outside. I don't know how you do that, but this sends Ronald Darby to the bench. I mean, not Ronald Darby. I'm sorry. This sends Sidney Jones to the bench if you could bring in a Darius Slay type of guy. A lot of people are saying things about Robbie Anderson. I think if you bring in Robbie Anderson at the same time, Robbie Anderson ensures that you may not have a Nelson Aguilar next season. A lot of people are high on Robbie Anderson. I'm also high on Robbie Anderson. I see a young Deshaun Jackson in Robbie Anderson, especially if he plays with somebody who could throw the ball like Carson Wentz. I see big things for Robbie Anderson. That's a guy we need to get. Because honestly, to be honest, what we're lacking, I don't think we're really lacking pass rushers. I think the pass rushers are going to start coming along in the second half of the season. But what we're truly lacking is a deep threat. That way we can get out to early starts. We can get out to some good leads. We can start putting some points up, and we can let our defense play to their strengths. When our defense plays with a lead, they're much better. When our defense is trying to make plays coming from behind, then you start seeing the penalties. Then you start seeing the little BS that comes with, playing for the Philadelphia Eagles when you're behind. I would go after Darius Slay would probably be my number. Robbie Anderson would be my number one pick. I think Robbie Anderson will be better in his offense. I can't say than Deshaun Jackson right now, but Robbie Anderson could be amazing in his offense. Robbie Anderson will be my number one free agent that I'll target. Then I will go after Darius Slay, number 3. Then at the top, then at 3, Robbie Anderson, number 1, Darius Slay, number 2. And my third guy that I will go after would have to be Julio Jones. I think these guys are selling. You know what I'm saying? If you selling, I'm giving you a first and a second and another first, whatever you want for Julio Jones if you selling, because the Atlanta Falcons ain't cutting it. It's only a matter of time before Julio Jones wants to get out of there. Let's see if we can make it worth their while now. They could build around Ridley or whatever. They already lost Muhammad. But yeah, man, those are 3 guys that I'm going after, man. I think you need a wide receiver and a cornerback bad, but I'm not opposed to this pick of this Avery guy coming from the Browns. I actually like the pick. You know what I'm saying? It strengthens up the run defense. We're going to need some more run defense because you got to look at who we got on the menu. We got running teams like Seattle left. We got the Cowboys again. We got Saquon Barkley twice. You see what I'm saying? We want to have some guys that are good at tackling and good at just getting down there and making sure you can get a guy to the ground. And this guy, Genard Avery, is good at that, man. I watched a couple of highlight tapes of him. Don't know much about him, like I said. You know what I'm saying? But in a short amount of time that he played, I think around 18 games or something like that. I don't know if that's just 18 games with the Browns. He was pretty productive. You know what I'm saying? And you can't knock nobody until you see what they got. I'm hearing a lot of guys wanted this dude, but we were lucky to, send something over and get the job done. I don't think it's over for us when it comes to trade deadline. I think we still make another move. I think Howie is throwing the baby moves out now, and then he's going middle of the night. You know how we like to do. Hopefully that's what's going on. I mean, if nothing is happening, at the same time, I'm confident in I'm confident. I mean, call me crazy. I'm confident in Jalen Mills and Ronald Darby back there. I'm confident in it. I'm just not confident in the offensive attack right now. We looked much better against the Buffalo Bills. We looked much better against the Buffalo Bills. We called plays that we weren't calling all season. I've been screaming for misdirection, play action. We looked really good against the Buffalo Bills. But we can't stop there. You know what I'm saying? We got to still be able to stretch the field. You know what I mean? And I think us not even trying to stretch the field is hindering our game plan. Yeah, we don't got Deshaun Jackson right now, but still you can send Alshon Jeffrey deep. You can still throw it out there and make them respect us. You know what I'm saying? We're not even doing none of that. You know what I mean? Everybody know how to play us right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think Doug is starting to figure that out. That's why you're seeing a much more unpredictable playbook by Doug Peterson, man. But let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Who do y'all think we should go after? Do you like the pick? And let me know how you guys enjoy the breakdown film that I showed in the beginning of this video of Miles Sanders. I'm going to start doing that every week, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take a play that popped out, whether good or bad, that popped out to me, and we're going to break it down and we're going to talk about it, man. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you.